The next time you're preparing for your Daggerheart game, try using an environment as the foundation. Hi, I'm Mike Underwood, one of the designers of Daggerheart, and here's how I approach using environments for game prep. This isn't an official video or anything, this is just my thoughts on the topic. Environments represent the physical space, background NPCs, and natural forces of a scene, which is basically everything other than PCs and any adversaries. Environments have their own features and other elements that can help a GM spin a whole scene out of one stat block and a little bit of improvisation. For more on environments, you can look at the SRD in pages 100 and 101. Different environments are going to have different uses. So you might turn a social environment into a sequence where the PCs are looking for clues in a new settlement, or you could use a traversal environment to represent a hazard in a larger journey. There are also exploration and event type environments. Using an environment is like having a recipe or a starter kit for prepping a situation. Here you don't need to plan out all of what happens in a scene, but you can identify and unpack and prepare for specific moments and build out your understanding of a situation that the player characters are going to engage with. And that gives you a lot of versatility in doing a bit of prep and then having a lot of ways that you can use it over a larger period of time. Here are some other quick things to know about environments that you can use to help streamline your prep. Every environment has a difficulty. So for this outpost town, that's difficulty 12. You use this as a default target difficulty for any roles related to it contending with or confronting the environment. That includes action rolls or reaction rolls that you call for the players to make if they are trying to overcome something in the environment, or if they are having to make rolls because of features in the environment where you activate something and then call for a roll, or you tell them you can address this challenge by doing a particular roll. Having a set difficulty spares you the effort and the time to coming up with individual difficulty numbers for a bunch of different things, or from having to improvise it in the moment. If you've picked your environment, the difficulty for that environment is set. Now you can adjust it if you need to, and adjusting environment tiers is really easy. Again, look at the SRD pages 100 and 101 for scaling there, because really all you have to do is change the difficulty number and any damage dice from features that the environment uses. You might make some other changes, but that's really a judgment call. Environment features, right, like Rumors Abound, Society of the Broken Compass, and the other ones here in the Outpost Town, these give us a menu of special rules on how to play the game in this environment, right? What changes about the world? What opportunities are there? It also gives you some moves that you can use to create drama or raise the stakes in the scene. So that's things like, it'd be a shame if something happened to your store, where the PCs witness as agents of a local crime boss shake down a general goods store, prompting the heroes into action and telling them a bit about how this town runs. There is a crime boss and they are taking protection money and doing shakedowns. Or you could use wrong place, wrong time. At night, or when the party is alone in a back alley, you can spend a fear to introduce the thieves that try to rob them. You can think about these options and this menu that the Outpost Town gives you also as being sort of like a control panel or a lighting or soundboard with different buttons representing the different features, actions, reactions that you can utilize. And then the passives are just ways that things operate, like, you know, a chord, a background tone, a theme, or something like that. Some features give player characters a particular move that they can utilize. So Rumors Abound here talks about how in the Outpost Town you can try to learn rumors or learn about news from the region. And what this does, and there's a few environment features that operate like this. They say, here's what you can do, and then here are some possible results. This gives us options for critical success, success with hope, success with fear, and any failure. So that's all 5 options of how a roll can go. This way, you can get a custom move without having to, either in the moment or ahead of time, spell out the results for all the options. You can take what's here in an environment, adjust it if you need to, or just use it straight off so that you don't have to improvise as much, and you have a sense of some of the structure of how this move is going to operate and the results it's going to generate. Features like this are a lot like custom moves in Power by the Apocalypse games. In a custom move like that, it says when you do a thing, and that's the fictional trigger, you roll a thing, and then here's what happens. In a Power by the Apocalypse game, usually you have 6 minus, 7 to 9, and 10 plus, and those are your different results categories, and you get options or something like that. In Daggerheart, features like this in environments will give you that fictional trigger. Often it'll say what to roll, make a presence roll here in Rumors Abound, and then different results and the choices that the players will get based on what they've rolled. Feature questions like, what news do the PCs have that they could pass along to curious travelers? What do the locals think about these events? Or, for Society of the Broken Compass, what boasts do the adventurers here make, and what do you think are true? Which one of them are true? These give you chances as the GM to personalize the environment to your campaign. These are also prompts for you to consider in your prep or in execution. And then some of them are questions that you can direct to the players. So down in Wrong Place, Wrong Time, the question is, what details show the party that these people are desperate former adventurers? You can use this like it is a paint the scene prompt, a la how they are used in Jason Cordova's Carved by Brindlewood games, since that's a tool that he created. These questions are meant to be inspirational, evocative, and they can give you a chance to pass the mic to players, but they're always meant, as I think about them and as I use them, to be a value add, an option that you can draw upon. They're part of the menu. They're not a prefix dictated option. So that's a few quick thoughts about how to use environments to speed up your prep and to help you create preparation and ideas for situations rather than trying to plan out whole scenes or sequences of causality and cause and effect. If you start with an environment, you've got a nice menu of options. You've got a couple of things already decided ahead of time, like a difficulty. It gives you some inspiration. It gives you some moves to use. And they even have potential adversaries if an environment includes the potential for some kind of armed or violent confrontation that turns into an action or combat scene. So next time you're doing your GM prep for Daggerheart, consider using an environment. It may help a lot. Thanks so much. Take care.